The wind was dry and red dust moved slowly across the ground. The planet was silent. No birds, no voices, only the soft hum of a broken world. Kayla stood at the edge of the crater, her boots covered in Mars dust. She was 16, alone, and tired of searching. But today, something felt different. Behind her, the last human base on Mars stood like a ghost half buried in sand, its lights long dead. Years ago, Earth had fallen. The survivors tried to build new homes on other planets, but most of them failed. Now, only a few small colonies were left, and even those were dying. Kayla wiped sweat from her forehead and looked down into the crater. She had found a strange signal the night before coming from deep below the surface. It was not from any machine or satellite. It was something old and alive. With shaking hands, she climbed down. The crater led to a small cave hidden by rocks. Inside, the air was warmer. It smelled like burning metal and firewood. Then she saw it. A large egg, glowing faintly orange and gold, lay in the center of the cave. It was as big as her backpack and covered in strange markings that moved slowly like smoke. Kayla dropped to her knees. Her voice came out in a whisper. "Is this real?" The egg pulsed once. Then again. Like a heartbeat, Kayla felt something strange. In her chest. The egg was speaking, not with words, but with emotion. It was scared. It was waking up. She reached out and gently touched it. A bright spark shot out and touched her hand. It didn't hurt, but it made her mind spin. Images flashed behind her eyes, flames, wings, stars breaking apart. The egg cracked. Kayla stepped back as pieces of shell broke away. Light filled the cave, warm and golden. As the creature inside lifted its head for the first time, it was a dragon. Not like the ones in old stories. This one had glowing metal scales, wires running through its wings, and eyes that burned like tiny suns. Fire and tech, life and machine dashed together. It looked at her. Then slowly it stood. Kayla's heart pounded. She should be scared, but she wasn't. The dragon tilted its head. She took a deep breath. "Can you understand me?" The dragon blinked. "Can you fly?" The dragon looked up at the cave ceiling. Dust and stone blocked the sky. Kayla smiled. She walked to the wall and pointed to the top. "Spread your wings." The dragon paused. Then it opened its wings wide. They shimmered like hot air, full of power. A single flap and the cave exploded. Stone flew into the sky, and Kayla shielded her face as wind and fire burst outward. The dragon flew upward into the sky, its wings shining in the red sun of Mars. Kayla climbed after it, laughing, crying, breathless. When she reached the surface, the dragon was waiting for her. Hovering just above the ground. Then the sky changed. A strange light appeared above them. A ring of energy opened in the air, a swirling blue and white portal. Kayla stared in shock. What is that?" the dragon roared. It wasn't a cry of fear. It was a signal. The portal responded, pulling them toward it like a strong wind. Kayla felt her feet lift off the ground. She grabbed the dragon's leg without thinking. "Don't leave me." The dragon's eyes met hers. Then, gently, it held her with its claws and spread its wings again. Together, they flew into the portal. As they passed through, Kayla saw stars, planets, and colors she couldn't name. She felt her body stretch, her mind open. The dragon burned brighter. Then, darkness. Silence. In a new world. Kayla gasped for air as they landed. She was still alive. The dragon folded its wings and looked around. The sky here was green. The trees glowed faintly. Strange buildings floated in the air like bubbles. Kayla sat up confused. "Where are we?" The dragon didn't answer. A loud noise came from the trees. A machine floating, silent, covered in lights appeared and scanned them. Its robotic voice spoke. "Unknown life form detected. Breach detected. Prepare for extraction." Kayla stepped back. "Wait, "No, we're not enemies." But the machine moved closer. The dragon growled. Its wings lifted. Kayla whispered again, "Spread your wings." And once again, everything changed. Time. Moved strangely in the new world. Kael opened her eyes slowly. The ground beneath her was soft, like foam. Above her, the sky was a mix of green and silver, and two suns floated in the air like glowing eyes. The dragon stood beside her, taller now, stronger. Its wings no longer flickered with sparks, but flowed with soft, glowing lines like rivers of fire. Something about this world was changing it. Kaela sat up and blinked. Her clothes were dry, even though she had just passed through a storm of stars and wind. The air smelled like lemon and iron. A sound drifted through the trees, whispers. Not in words, but in thoughts. The leaves moved without wind. The world was alive, and it was watching her. She stood. "Where are we?" The dragon didn't answer, but its eyes looked upward. Far above them, floating in the sky, were strange cities. They weren't built with stone or steel. They looked like glass shells floating peacefully in the air. No roads. No smoke, no sign of war. Just silence. Kala's heart filled with hope. Maybe this was a better world. A world where people had learned to live with peace. A place where Ember, her dragon, could fly free. But then, she saw the people. They weren't walking. They were floating, hovering just above the ground. Skin pale, eyes glowing white, their faces calm, almost too calm. No emotion, no fear, no joy. They looked at Kayla like she was a mistake. One of them floated closer, wearing a long silver robe. He stopped a few steps away and tilted his head. "You are not from this strand." His voice was smooth, almost empty. Kayla frowned. "Strand?" The man turned his hand. A small screen appeared midair. It showed a glowing web of light, thousands of lines crossing, bending, moving. One of the lines blinked red. "You broke through a sealed timeline. You carry Forbidden's energy, and that. He looked at the dragon. Is an ancient weapon." Kayla stepped in front of Ember. "He's not a weapon. He saved me." The man didn't blink. "He is unstable. You both are. And in this world, instability must be removed." From behind the trees, more of them came. Not people, machines. Long arms, sharp legs, silver bodies without faces. They moved without sound, without breath. The same machines Kayla had seen in the vision inside the egg. Void Reapers. Ember let out a low growl. His wings twitched, and flames flickered across his back. Kayla felt her heart pound. What are they going to do? The man raised his hand. "They will extract you and purify the timeline." Suddenly, one of the machines launched forward. "Fast, too fast!" Kayla screamed, but Ember moved quicker. A wall of fire exploded between her and the machine. The trees shook. The grass melted. Kayla ran toward Ember and jumped on his back without thinking. "Fly!" But Ember didn't fly. He turned, opened his mouth, and spoke, not with words, but with energy that hit her mind like a thunderstorm. "They know you. They've seen you before." Kayla shook her head. "How?" "I just got here." Ember spread his wings. The air bent around him. The sun dimmed. "This is not your first time, Kayla." Kayla's eyes widened. Her hands tightened on Ember's scales. "What are you talking about?" But Ember didn't explain. With one massive flap of his wings, they shot into the sky faster. Then sound. Behind them, the Reapers followed. As they fly toward one of the floating cities, Kayla sees a huge statue in the center. A woman holding fire in her hands. It's her face, but older, and under it, a message written in glowing letters. "The Firebringer will return. Only once." The wind was loud above the floating city, but Kayla heard nothing. She stood in front of the statue, her own face carved in crystal, staring back at her from 100 feet above. The same eyes, the same scar on the cheek, the same fire in the hands. Her voice was a whisper. Why is there a statue of me? In a world I've never been to? Ember, her dragon, landed beside her. His wings folded quietly, but his glowing scales pulsed faster than before, like something deep inside. Him was waking up. Kayla turned to him. You said I've been here before. Ember didn't answer. Instead, a new voice came from behind them. You were a myth, a ghost. But now you're real. Kayla spun around. A boy stood there. Maybe 17. Hair silver like moonlight. Long coat that shimmered like metal. His eyes weren't glowing like the others. He looked human. He smiled, but there was pain in it. My name is Ren. I've been waiting for you, for a very long time. Kayla frowned. How do you know me? He didn't blink. Because you created me. Her heart stopped. What? Ren nodded. You came here once, many years ago. You brought the Ember Dragon with you. You taught people how to fight. You helped build this world. But you died before the final war. Kayla stepped back. That's not possible. I'm 16. I've never. Ren raised his hand and showed her a glowing crystal. Inside it, a recording played blurry and full of static. It was her voice. Older. Deeper. Strong. If you are seeing this, it means I failed. And another version of me has returned. You must stop the breach code. Kayla froze. Ren looked into her eyes. There are thousands of timelines, Kayla. You've lived many lives in them. But only one version of you can close the breach. And this time, it's you again. Kayla looked at Ember. The dragon's eyes were glowing hot. His voice echoed in her mind. I remember now. You died in my arms. I burned down the sky to protect you. She took a shaky breath. What is the breach code? Ren pointed to the sky. One of the floating cities above them had started blinking. Red, asterisk asterisk. It's a code hidden inside the timeline web. It allows someone to break time, enter other realities, and control the past. Someone has activated it again. That's how you got pulled here. Kayla narrowed her eyes. Then who used it? Ren's voice dropped to a whisper. Another you. Scene shift. In a dark chamber far above the city, a figure stood alone looking through a glass floor at Kayla and Ember. She looked just like Kayla. Same face. Same eyes, but her armor was black. Her dragon was larger, sharper, crueler. Dark Kayla. She touched the edge of a glowing console and smiled. Let her come. Let her try. This time, I finish what I started. Kayla stares at the blinking sky. Ember spreads his wings beside her. Ren gives her a small silver device. If she controls the breach, she controls every version of you. Every timeline. Every future. You're not just here to survive, Kayla. You're here to end this. Kayla holds the device tightly. She looks up. Then let's find her. Asterisk. The fire was not outside. It was inside him. Ember flew through the cold green sky, but he didn't feel the wind. He didn't feel Kayla on his back. He only felt memory. And pain. Something was breaking open inside his mind. Not a thought, not a command, a forgotten life. As they passed over the floating cities, Kayla leaned forward. Ember, are you okay? No answer. He didn't hear her voice. He heard another voice. Older, softer. Her voice. But not this Kayla. Another one. One who had died in his arms years ago. In another world. In another time. Her final words echoed. You must protect her. Every version. Every strand. Even if she forgets you. You must not forget her. His wings trembled. His eyes glowed brighter. And suddenly flash, inside Ember's Menda. Storm of memories opened like a sky split in two. He saw himself in a lab, his body half metal, half fire, lying in a tank. Scientists staring. Alarms ringing. A girl, Kayla, smashing the glass to free him. He saw a battlefield, black skies, falling stars, Kayla riding him into fire. They were losing. He saw her bleeding, whispering, "Fly, save my mind, let me live again." Then nothing, and now she was back. But younger. And she didn't remember. Back in the present, Kayla felt Ember's body shudder. Ember. His wings locked. His flame turned blue. He dropped from the sky. Kayla screamed as they crashed into a dark forest below one of the cities. Branches snapped. Leaves burned. They hit the ground with a blast of light. Kayla rolled off him and gasped for breath. "Are you what happened?" But Ember didn't answer. He was still. His eyes flickered. She crawled to him, placed her hand on his warm head. "Ember, please." The dragon's chest pulsed once, then again. And then he spoke, not with his usual thunder, but with calm, quiet emotion. "I remember you. I remember your death." Kayla's eyes filled with tears. "I don't understand." He looked at her with sadness. "You gave me your mind. Your memory. That's why I was born. I am part of you. And you are part of me." Kayla shook her head. "No, I'm just a girl. I didn't build you." Ember blinked slowly. "You didn't build me. You became me." She sat in silence, staring at him. And for the first time, she felt something inside her shift. Like a locked door clicking open. A memory. Not hers, but his. A dragon's scream. Her voice, fire, love, death. She saw herself through his eyes. A warrior. Scene shift. A hidden temple. Ren runs through the lower levels of the forest. His device flashes red. He reaches a secret door covered in roots and tech symbols. He places his hand on the wall. The door opens with a hiss. Inside, a long hallway filled with statues. Each statue is Kayla, different clothes, different faces, different timelines. At the end of the hallway, one statue is broken. Ren stares at it and whispers, "The Ember Dragon is remembering. That means time is running out." A voice behind him replies, "Then it's time to tell her the truth." Ren turns to see a woman in black armor. Older, strong, familiar. Another Kayla, but not dark Kayla. This one is tired. Kayla sits beside Ember in the glowing forest. She looks into his eyes. "What am I really, Ember?" He answers slowly, "You are. Not just Kayla, you are the Firekeeper. The first and the last. You don't remember the code. Because you are the code." Time was not a river here. It was a storm. And Kayla was standing in the middle of it. She woke in a glowing room, white walls. No doors, no windows. Only light and silence. She stood up slowly, confused. Her dragon Ember was gone. The forest, the cities, even Ren. All gone. Kayla looked down and saw her reflection on the floor. But it wasn't her. The reflection was older, worn armor. A deep scar across her face, and her eyes glowing gold. The voice came from behind her. "You were never meant to come this early." Kayla turned fast, ready to fight, but stopped. The woman standing in front of her was tall, strong, and calm. She was Kayla, a future Kayla. Seen, the chamber of time. The room changed. The walls melted into stars. Thousands of timelines floated around them like glowing threads, twisting, crossing, breaking. The older Kayla walked slowly through them, her boots silent on the floor of light. Every time you said the words, "spread your wings," a new timeline was created. Some led to peace. Most led to fire. Kayla followed her, her voice unsure. "Are you me?" The older version nodded. "I'm the last version who remembered everything. The last one who didn't break." Kayla stepped closer. "Then what am I?" The older Kayla touched one of the glowing strands. It flickered and showed an image. Kayla riding Ember through a battlefield of falling cities. "You're the emergency loop. The backup timeline. If all else fails, you activate." Kayla felt cold. "So I'm not real?" Her older self looked at her sharply. You're the most real version of all. That's why you were hidden, buried deep in forgotten code. Even the Reapers couldn't find you. Kayla's fists tightened. Then tell me what I'm supposed to do. Meanwhile, in the outer strands, Ren stood on top of a broken tower, staring at the sky. It was burning. A crack had opened in the clouds, huge, glowing red, like the sky itself was bleeding. And from that crack, the Reapers were falling, thousands of them. Black rain of machines. He pulled out the silver device Kayla gave him and whispered, "Kayla, if you're still alive, now would be a really good time to burn something." Back in the chamber of time, the older Kayla held up a cube of red light. Inside it, a code moved like smoke symbols that changed too fast to read. This is the timeline. Burn code. It can erase every corrupted strand, every false Kayla, every controlled reality. Kayla's eyes widened. You want me to destroy timelines? Her older self looked into her eyes. Double quotes, no. I want you to free them. But there's a cost. Kayla whispered. What cost? You'll forget everything. Every version of Ember. Every memory. Every love. You'll go back to the beginning. Empty. Normal. Kayla stepped back. I don't know if I can. Then boom. The walls of light shattered. The older Kayla turned sharply. She's here. Scene shift. The dark arrival. Dark Kayla entered the chamber, floating above the floor. Her eyes were black. Her dragon was twisted metal and shadow. She smiled, still giving speeches. Old me. This is my loop now. Ember appeared beside Kayla, flames rising off his wings. Kayla didn't speak. She looked at the timeline burn cube, then at her other selves. She reached out, hand shaking, and the cube melted into her skin. A circle of fire surrounded her, and Ember, the strands of time twisted around her. She looked at the dark Kayla and said, "You forgot one thing. I always burn brighter at the end." Kayla and Ember explode upward into the timeline's fire trailing behind them. The dark Kayla screams and follows, and time itself begins to unravel. Every timeline now depends on one choice, and Kayla is running out of time. Asterisk, the sky was on fire. But it wasn't the sky they knew anymore. Kayla flew through the burning strands of time, Ember roaring beside her. Behind them, timelines cracked like glass, bending and folding into each other. Every choice, every life, every version of her bleeding into one. The fire wasn't just around them. It was her. Flashback. Memory. Moments ago, the timeline burn code had entered her skin like light entering glass. At first, it felt cold. Then it began to burn not her body, but her past. She saw faces she never remembered. Worlds she never visited. 1,000 Kaylas. 1,000 failures. One victory hidden somewhere ahead. Her voice echoed through the fire. No more restarts. This ends now. Present. War in the broken sky above the last surviving world. The final strand. The battle had begun. The Reapers came first. Black, sharp, endless. Like metal insects, they poured from a red crack in the sky. Wings slicing the wind. No sound. No mercy. Below, what was left of the free people prepared for their final stand. Ren stood at the front, holding a pulse rifle made of broken timeline tech. He looked up and smiled. Just once. Took you long enough. Kayla and Ember entered the fight like a storm. She rode with eyes glowing gold, fire leaking from her fingertips. Ember's wings burned brighter than suns. They didn't just fly, they broke physics as they moved. Twisting through reality, teleporting between broken seconds, turning space itself into their weapon. Each Reaper they touched exploded into sparks. But there were too many. Hundreds, thousands, more falling every second. And then dark Kayla arrived, floating above the battlefield like a queen of ruins. Her armor was alive with dark code. Her dragon, a twisted version of Ember, breathed shadows that turned cities to dust. She raised one hand and the battle stopped. All Reapers froze. Mid-air. Dark. Kayla smiled coldly. I knew you'd use the burn code. Kayla hovered across from her, breathing hard, fire rising from her skin. Then you know what comes next. Dark. Kayla shook her head. I've already won. You just don't remember yet. Scene shift. The truth revealed in the heart of the planet, in a hidden data vault older than time itself. Ren reached the core of the timeline. Spine. A beating machine made of stars and memory. He uploaded the last piece of data Kayla had left him. A backup memory. A warning. The system flickered. And then revealed a secret. There were never two Kaylas. Dark Kayla was not her opposite. She was her future, the version of Kayla who tried to save the world once before, and lost, twisted by pain, corrupted by trying to fix time again and again. Ren whispered, she's not your enemy, she's your ending. Back to the sky. Kayla's eyes widened. She felt it now, the same scar, the same thoughts. Dark Kayla was what she would become if she failed again. And that meant she couldn't kill her, not without ending herself. She looked at Ember. He nodded once. They both knew what to do. They had to break the loop, all of it. Kayla flies straight into the heart of the burning sky. Ember surrounds her in flame. Every version of her, every path, every memory collapses inward. The timeline begins to collapse. Dark Kayla screams, trying to stop her. Kayla closes her eyes and whispers, no more versions, just one me, one world. The light swallows everything. Silence. Black. Screen. And then a heartbeat. Everything was silent before the storm of light. Then one heartbeat. Kayla opened her eyes and saw nothing but white. The air smelled of ash and hope. Ember hovered beside her, wings folded in calm. Around them, the fragments of every timeline. Hung like broken glass, she stood, brushing dust from her jacket. The scar on her cheek throbbed not with pain, but with memory. It was the same pain she had felt each time she died for the timeline. But this time felt different. Behind them, a door of living light appeared. Beyond it, Kayla sensed a new world. A world reborn. She looked at Ember. His eyes were soft fire. He nudged her leg with his snout. Ready? He asked in her mind. Kayla nodded. Let's finish this. The final choice. They walked through the door into a vast plain under twin suns. Grass grew in silver waves. Birds with crystal wings sang songs of beginnings. In the distance, a small child ran, chasing a glowing ember that drifted like a firefly. Kayla's breath caught. The child stopped and turned eyes wide with wonder. It was her. Young Kayla, 6 years old. Laughing, the ember flew down, landing on the girl's palm. It pulsed gently. The girl looked up and smiled directly at Kayla. Kayla felt tears. She knelt beside her younger self and whispered, "This is your world, your chance." Young Kayla opened her hand, and the ember rose, circling them both. Ember the dragon landed behind them, wings glowing. He bowed his head. Kayla reached out and touched the ember herself. It felt warm and alive, like every choice she had ever made, every life she had ever touched. A new dawn all at once. The sky brightened. The broken glass of timelines dissolved. The wind carried a single word, home. Kayla stood. Her younger self waved and ran off into the grass. The world shimmered. Ember nudged her again. Kayla climbed onto his back. They lifted into the sky as the twin suns rose fully. Below them, the plain changed into forests, then oceans, then continents. A new earth in motion, alive without scars or cracks. No floating cities. No dark Kayla. No reapers. Just dawn. Kayla felt her heart swell. She knew this world would grow with its own stories. She didn't have to save every timeline. She only had to believe in one. The last ember high above the new world. Ember spread his wings and roared a sound of pure joy. Kayla laughed, her voice echoing across the sky. A single ember broke away from Ember's back and drifted down. It glowed softly before landing on the surface of the ocean. There, it sank and became the first spark of life in the sea. Kaela watched until it disappeared. Then she whispered, "Fly free." Ember turned his head and nudged her hand. They rose higher, leaving the new world below. As they flew toward the horizon, Kayla spoke one last time to her dragon. "Thank you." Ember's fire glowed bright, then faded into gentle light. They vanished into the sunrise together, two souls bound by memory, ready to begin their journey anew.